Good evening. Thanks for joining me this Tuesday. I'm Otto Othman and these are tonight's headlines. Sultan Abdullah leaves selection of next Agong to Conference of Rulers. Baling MP and brother to be charged tomorrow. And UK Parliament to decide on EU withdrawal plan. Sultan Abdullah Sultan Ahmad Shah has been proclaimed as the 6th Sultan of Pahang today, succeeding his father, Paduka Ayahanda Sultan Ahmad Shah. With the proclamation, the new ruler is now officially addressed as Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah. The Tengku Muda of Pahang, Tengku Abdul Rahman Sultan Ahmad Shah, made the proclamation in a ceremony steeped in tradition at the Balairung Seri or throne room of Istana Abu Bakar in the royal town of Pekan. The proclamation ceremony began at 11 a.m. soon after the arrival of Sultan Abdullah and Tengku Puan Pahang, Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimuna Iskandaria. Tengku Muda Pahang, Tengku Abdul Rahman Sultan Ahmad Shah, and Tengku Arif, Temangkung Pahang, Tengku Fad Muazzam Shah also accompanied the royal couple. They came to the throne room preceded by 7 bearers of the royal regalia, including the sword of government and keris of government. Sultan Abdullah and Tunku Azizah then sat on the throne and Allah Selamatkan Sultan was played. After the state anthem, Tengku Abdul Rahman then read out the proclamation under Article 9A, Part 1 of the Pahang State Constitution.
Maka yang demikian, ketahuilah kepada semua yang hadir, seluruh rakyat Pahang dan semua orang supaya mengambil maklum dan menjunjung taat setia kepada Kebawah Duli Yang Maha Mulia Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah Ibni Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah Al-Musta'in Billah.
Afterwards, Tengku Abdul Rahman presented the royal instrument of proclamation to Sultan Abdullah, who then pronounced the oath as the ruler of the state.
Dengan lafaz Allahi wa billahi wa tullahi, kalau berkata dengan sesungguhnya dan dengan sebenarnya mengaku dan taat setia pada menjalankan dengan adil dan amanah pemerintahan bagi negeri Pahang dan segala jajahan takluknya mengikut sebagaimana undang-undang tubuh kerajaan negeri Pahang.
Soon after Sultan Abdullah had pronounced the oath, the audience hailed Allahu Akbar, followed by Daulat Tuanku.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Daulat Tuanku! Daulat Tuanku! Daulat Tuanku! Daulat Tuanku! Daulat Tuanku! Daulat Tuanku!
The Tengku Muda Pahang, representing members of the Royal Household, Royal Council and the Orang Besar Pahang, as well as the Menteri Besar and state government officials, then read out the Pledge of Loyalty.
Seterusnya,
the Pahang Tengku Mahkota and Regent Tengku Abdullah Al-Haj Ibni Sultan Ahmad Shah is the eldest son of the Sultan of Pahang, Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah, and almarhum Tengku Ampuan Afzan Tengku Muhammad Perang. He was born on July 30th, 1959 at the Istana Mangga in Pekan and received his early education at Sekolah Ahmad Pekan, Sekolah Rendah St. Thomas and Sekolah Menengah St. Thomas in Kuantan. Tengku Abdullah later went to study at Aldenham School, Elstree Hertfordshire Advanced School, Davis College London Advanced School, Royal Military Academy in Sandhurst, England, and Worcester and Queen Elizabeth College in Foreign Affairs and Diplomacy. He was appointed as the Tengku Mahkota of Pahang in 1975 and proclaimed 2 years later at the Istana Abu Bakar in Pekan, Pahang. At the age of 20, Tengku Abdullah was already appointed as the Pahang Regent. He was educated and trained early on with essential leadership skills that has allowed him to assume the role and responsibility with much ease. Tengku Abdullah became the Pahang regent for 5 years when his father, His Majesty Sultan Ahmad Shah Ibni Almarhum Sultan Abu Bakar, was the 7th Yang di-Pertuan Agong. He married the Tengku Puan Pahang, Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimuna Iskandaria Almarhum Sultan Iskandar in 1986. They have 3 princes and 2 princesses.
Meanwhile, on the appointment of the 16th Yang di-Pertuan Agong, Sultan Abdullah said he will leave the decision to the Conference of Rulers. He added that he will not jump to any conclusions and that he is confident the Conference of Rulers will make a wise decision over the matter. He also said that the matter was in the hands of God. Sultan Abdullah said this after a feast held in conjunction with his proclamation as the 6th Sultan of Pahang. When asked if he can work with the current Pakatan Harapan government, Sultan Abdullah assured all quarters of his ability to work with anyone and to be approached by anyone.
In another development, the government has denied speculation that January 31st will be declared a public holiday. This after a viral message had claimed that the public holiday is in conjunction with the swearing-in of the new Yang di-Pertuan Agong. The Malaysian Government Call Centre today clarified that the Conference of Rulers' special meeting on January 31st is for the oath-taking ceremony of the new king. The coronation, however, will not be held on that day. Hence, there will be no public holiday declared. The Conference of Rulers also will meet on January 24th to decide who will be the new Agong. In Kedah, a suspected drug addict who is around 7 months pregnant was rushed to the hospital this morning after complaining of labor pains. The woman in her 30s and her boyfriend were earlier picked up by the National Anti-Drugs Agency NADA team at a house in Kampung Naga near Jitra at 11 p.m. on Monday. In the incident at about 5 a.m., the woman told authorities while she was under detention that she was experiencing some complications. An ambulance rushed her to the Sultana Bahia Hospital, where she was warded and is in stable condition. Bukit Kayu Hitam NADA Operation Chief Megat Rozab Megate said the raid was carried out by NADA after she failed to report to the authorities as per the court order. It was then revealed the woman, who was previously detained last October for a drug offense, was hiding out at her boyfriend's house. Her companion, as well as her 2 brothers, were also arrested during the operation, and the trio also tested positive for drugs. The case is being investigated under the Drug Dependence Treatment and Rehabilitation Act. Meanwhile, Perak police have arrested a woman who has been stealing baby milk around Ipoh with her 2 sons, aged 15 and 19, since last year. The 36-year-old woman and her 2 sons are now in remand to assist investigations for theft. District Police Chief ACP Muhammad Ali Tambi said the trio have been targeting supermarkets around the city. He added the suspects only targeted popular brands, which are expensive and easy to dispose of.
Jadi MO yang dilakukan oleh perempuan ini, caranya mudah saja. Lelaki yang kita kesan ini akan masuk dulu ke dalam supermarket dan dia akan mengalihkan susu-susu ini ke suatu tempat yang tidak boleh dilihat oleh CCTV. Kemudian bila keadaan dah terkawal, dia akan kontak perempuan ini untuk masuk. Dan perempuan ini akan masuk membawa beg dan memasukkan susu-susu ini di dalam beg. Lelaki tadi dia akan pergi beli satu barang yang murah dan dia akan melekakan kaunter lah. Jadi semasa dia lekakan kaunter ini, perempuan ini tadi akan bawa keluar hasil ini dan masukkan dalam kereta dan mereka melarikan diri dengan dibantu oleh 2 tanggapan lelaki tadi.
He added the suspects would steal from a supermarket several times before moving on to their next target. Further investigation led police to the discovery of 218 packets of milk of various brands at the suspect's house in Menglembu. Upon interrogation, the suspects admitted they have been stealing at supermarkets in Tapa and Kampar as well. A jobless man believed to be a drug addict was charged at the Yan Magistrates Court with the murder of 2 young siblings in Kampung Tengah, Kuala Sungai Yan last week. 49-year-old Amir Arifin nodded after the charge was read out to him before Magistrate Nurul Rashidah Muhammad Akit, but no plea was recorded. The accused was charged with the murder of 5-year-old Nur Hanim Idris and 2-year-old Muhammad Hafiz Idris at a house in Kampong Tengah last January 8th. The charge under Section 302 of the Penal Code provides the mandatory death sentence upon conviction. Amir also faces another charge of voluntarily causing grievous hurt on the children's uncle, Sobari Saad, with a sword at the same place, time and date. The court set March 18th for mention. On the fateful night, the accused reportedly ran amok and barged into the victim's house armed with a machete. The man immediately attacked the victim's uncle, who received 10 stitches for the deep gash sustained on his left ear. He then proceeded to one of the rooms inside the house and stabbed to death Nurul Hanim and Muhammad Hafiz, who were sleeping with their mother. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC has again arrested Baling Member of Parliament Dato Seri Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahim. The UMNO Supreme Council member will be charged tomorrow, along with his brother, over corruption and money laundering allegations. In a statement today, the MACC confirmed that Dato Seri Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahim and his brother, Dato Abdul Latif Abdul Rahim, were detained at the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya at about 4:30 p.m. today. This was after the anti-graft body obtained the go-ahead to charge the duo from the Attorney General's chambers. The former Tabong Haji TH chairman and his brother will be brought to the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court tomorrow at 9 a.m. Both will face charges under the MACC Act and Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act. Earlier, the two arrived at the Commission's headquarters at 2:55 p.m. to have their statements recorded after they were summoned by the graft buster. In September, the duo, along with the director of a company, were arrested and remanded for 4 days to assist investigations for allegedly accepting bribes for a TH project. Subsequently, the Baling lawmaker's son was nabbed for a day in October. On May 23rd, the MACC also raided and seized 500,000 ringgit cash and 1.2 million ringgit in various currencies from Dato Seri Abdul Aziz's residence. In Sabah, a company owner and 4 company managers are in remand for 7 days for allegedly submitting false information to obtain tenders worth nearly 9 million ringgit. The remand order was issued by Magistrate Herlina Muse following an application by the MACC. It was understood that the tender was to supply food to 4 secondary schools in Tawau for the period 2017 and last year. The suspects, aged between 35 and 65, included 3 women. They were arrested at several locations in the district between 1:20 p.m. and 8 p.m. yesterday. Investigations into a syndicate supplying drugs to inmates at the Simpang Renggam prison will be extended to other prisons in Johor. State Police Chief Dato Muhammad Khalil Kadir Muhammad said the move is necessary in order to identify residual networks of the syndicate.
Sebenarnya coordination kita dengan Jabatan Penjara dalam hal ini telah lama wujud. Ini adalah salah satu yang kita dapat expose. Kita dapat tangkap kerana kita hasil daripada kerjasama kita yang rapat. So kita takkan berhenti. Pasal apa? Benda ni kita tahu dah berlaku. So kita akan teruskan lagi usaha-usaha ini. Jadi ini adalah satu kejayaan yang baiklah.
Dato Muhammad Khalil was commenting on the success of the Federal and Johor Narcotics Criminal Investigation Department in taking down the syndicate suspected of smuggling in drugs to inmates at the prison. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi Harun had said yesterday that 5 syndicate members were arrested in 2 separate raids in Johor on Saturday. This following the arrest of 4 suspects last year that had likely used the services of the prison's insiders. The latest 5 suspects are being remanded for 5 days until January 19th to facilitate further probe. Meanwhile, Dato Muhammad Khalil denied allegations that a Year 1 pupil was raped by her classmates in their school in Johor Bahru. The allegation went viral since last night.
Setelah kita buat pemeriksaan rapi dengan doktor pakar, kita memang tidak wujud apa yang diviralkan. Tetapi dalam apa yang diviralkan tu, isu ceritanya mengatakan bahawa pekerja sekolah ni nampak beberapa budak lelaki dan budak perempuan ni dalam bilik air. Jadi ini siasat terapi kita sedang jalankan. What is the scenario all about lah. Tapi hakikatnya ini adalah satu pendekatan yang kita orang kata kita nak siasat lebih lanjut. Tetapi but the fact is kita dah buat hantar budak tu for medical dan kita dapat maklum balas bahawa tidak wujudlah apa yang dikatakan dengan isu rogol ni.
It was alleged that the 7-year-old pupil was raped during recess by 3 of her classmates inside the boys' toilet last Thursday. And the victim's mother then brought her to the Sultan Ismail Hospital here for a medical checkup. When we return, fancy a very unique dish? Details next. Thank you for staying with us. Now it's time for our daily segment, Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. Strawberries are often eaten raw and are widely used in preparing many popular desserts, including pavlova, jam, and even ice cream. But Pontian MP Dato Seri Ahmad Maslan decided to use the fruit in a popular Malaysian dish, the savoury fried rice. It did not receive much positive feedback from netizens.
Ahead of the January 26th Cameron Highlands by-election, the former UMNO cabinet member took to his Twitter last Saturday to show his new recipe with strawberries he bought from the Highlands. Despite stating that his concoction was actually delicious, many took to ridiculing the MP for combining the fruit in fried rice, which is often served hot and salty. The post, which has now garnered thousands of retweets, also received numerous comments and attention from local politicians. The Youth and Sports Minister, Syed Abdul Rahman, thought the recipe was an even bigger crime than One Malaysia Development Berhad scandal. Rembau MP Khairi Jamaluddin, meanwhile, joked that Dato Seri Ahmad's new recipe was a gross combination. The former Youth and Sports Minister even shared a photo of a pavlova at the minister, calling it the right way to use strawberries. Dato Seri Ahmad, however, claims he was not the one who invented the dish, where he uploaded 4 photos of others' dishes of strawberry fried rice. If you are as adventurous as our Pontian MP, give nasi goreng strawberry a try and tell us how it went.
Now, updated as of 7 p.m, here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today. FGV Holdings Berhad Chairman Dato Azhar Abdul Hamid has written an unprecedented letter to shareholders, laying bare manifold problems facing the company that lost 13.6 billion ringgit in market capitalization since its listing in 2012. He expects the company to turn around with the initiatives that will be implemented by the management team led by the new Group Chief Executive Officer, who will be announced in a few days' time. In the letter released to Bursa Malaysia, Dato Azhar said he decided to write directly to the shareholders as they deserve timely and clear updates as the shareholders. He stated FGV had appointed a new management team, including Chief Financial Officer, Chief Procurement Officer, Chief Operating Officer of the Plantation Operations, and Human Resource Officer to implement the company's turnaround. The company had also identified non-core businesses and assets valued at 350 million ringgit for disposal. In the letter, Dato Azhar highlighted 12 problems that led to FGV's poor financial performance. These include poor management of plantations, unwise investments of listing proceeds, underperforming joint ventures, negative market perception, and accusations of labor abuse and human rights violations. Lembaga Tabung Haji (TH) is in a position to pay dividend or hibah to its 9.3 million depositors for 2018. At a media briefing on the progress of TH's turnaround plan today, its Group Managing Director and CEO, Dato Seri said TH has restored its balance sheets with the transfer of 106 underperforming listed domestic equities to the special purpose vehicle Urus Harta Jamaah Sendirian Berhad. The transfers were completed as at December 31st, 2018.
Meaning that we are, inshallah, in 2018 itself, will be legally, all right, based on the Act, will be legally capable of declaring hibah. But please don't expect too much lah for 2018, because kita ni baru baik berdemam je, right? But now we are now in a position legally, we are now in a position to pay hibah based on the profit that we can generate for 2018, right?
In 2017, TH declared a hibah payout of 4.5% and a bonus of 1.75% to the depositors. Meanwhile, commenting on the progress of the TH's turnaround plan, Dato Sri Zukri said prior to the assets transferred to the SPV, Urus Harta Jamaah Sendirian Berhad, TH's exposure to the equities market was too high. In 2016, 55% of its assets were in equities, which was then decreased to 50% in 2017.
We are not fund managers. We are basically, our role is to administer the funds, so I think the focus on investment should change. We certainly will look at new asset allocation. I think the focus will be more now actually a fixed income rather than equity. It's not that we are not going to equity, but I think the balance more actually is skewed toward the fixed income, where we have a steady stream of return.
To enhance transparency, Tabung Haji, he said, will be providing quarterly updates on financial performance beginning first quarter of 2019. This will enable depositors and the public to track how the fund is doing. Up next, tens of millions begin holy dip in India. Stay with us.